What's going on, guys? Welcome back to United View. Hope everyone is doing very well. Welcome back to another match preview, and it's the big one. Monday Night Football, under the lights, Old Trafford, Manchester United versus Liverpool. The derby returns. I'm joined this week by the enemy.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
By AGT from the Cop TV. How you doing, bro?
I'm very good, thank you, mate. Good to be behind enemy lines, as you mentioned. And hopefully another repeat of last year on the cards.
Honestly, I mean, let's get into the game because both sides, look, no Premier League victories here.
Yep,
Two
true.
draws for yourself, back-to-back defeats for us. How are you feeling going into this one? I mean, from a United perspective, I'm looking at it where I'm going 5-0 last year. I'm nervous, but are you sharing any nerves?
It's a good question. I think if we'd have beaten Palace on Monday night, which we should have done, even though I have to give a lot of respect to Palace for coming to Anfield and getting that point. But let's say we beat them 4-0. The levels of confidence would have only risen after that game if we had have won it. But no ifs, buts and maybes. We didn't win that game, and now we're less confident, I guess, going into the United game. I mean, listen, we've lost our star man. He's out for 3 games. Yes, United have been playing awfully, but I think it's too late for Casemiro to start.
Yes,
I'm hoping.
Yes,
Touch
too
wood.
late for him.
That's
I mean, it's not been officially done just yet. They had to register him on Friday. Hasn't happened. He's still got to sort out his visa. Still got to sort out those finer details. Right. So no Casemiro, and a lot of Manchester United all there. I mean, I have worries about last season. I've got to be honest. I mean, I would be lying if I came onto this preview and said to you, I mean, I know it's a one-off and I know it's a derby. I have flashbacks to last year, and not even just last year. I look back to those first 2 games. We don't deal well with being pressed high up. That's what Liverpool do. Do you think Klopp says to them, look, go harder, press them up higher, more intensity, more?
Yeah, I mean, listen, last year we did that perfectly. We executed the game plan to perfection, and within 20 minutes it was 4-0. I mean, we did empty Old Trafford last year, mate, after 40 minutes, let alone this year.
Those scenes, yeah.
Everyone was leaving after half an hour. It was incredible scenes. But yeah, I think, look, Klopp goes into this one and says, you still haven't won a game. Forget that it's against Man United. Just go and win the game. Listen, if you're a Liverpool player, you don't need to be reminded of the importance of this fixture. Likewise for United. It is, in my opinion, still the biggest fixture in English football in terms of the 2 most successful clubs in England going head to head. So Klopp knows that that's on the line. It's a derby. Yes, form goes out the window in these kind of things, but form hasn't been great for either of us. So it's a almost a level playing field in that sense. But I think Klopp says to his players, look, we haven't won a game. Here's your perfect opportunity to not only win this game, but send a bit of a message out to the rest of the league that Liverpool haven't fallen off, as a lot of people have been saying in the first 2 weeks of the season. So listen, it's another game. It's another game we have to win. It's another game to show our qualities in those final thirds, which we haven't been doing in the last 2 games, if I'm honest. And yeah, we've got a headache as well in terms of selection. Who do we go with up front? The midfield's been talked about a lot this season. Has it got the legs? Has it got the experience to win big Premier League games? And it hasn't done so far. Thiago not being around is a massive miss for us. Fabinho hasn't been playing great. Neither has Henderson. I think Keita might come back. Harvey Elliott's been brilliant from what we've seen so far. So listen, I can't really call this one. I mean, I am going to edge a Liverpool win, which I'm sure we'll get into later in terms of score prediction. But this could go either way, man.
If United win, this is what's wild about this. If United win, we would have more points than Liverpool. I mean,
has that ever happened before?
I don't. I mean, if United lose, we have never been in a situation where we've lost our opening 3 Premier League fixtures. It would be the worst start for us in Premier League history, and we're breaking a lot of Premier League records recently. Last season, the wrong ones exactly. But from a Liverpool perspective, what kind of message would that send to the squad, to the fans, if United somehow did pull out a victory and after our terrible start, we're above you?
Yeah, it would be embarrassing. I mean, if the shoe was on the other foot, you'd say the same thing, right? Totally embarrassing. That's why this game has obviously got such importance to attach to it anyway. But this one in particular, we've not won a game, and neither of you. That probably will never happen again. Actually, I mean, it's never happened before, but it probably won't happen again. So it's an anomaly in that sense. But If you beat us, then I would say, one, that we have to make some kind of last-ditch attempt in the transfer market. It would result to that. And if you beat us, I mean, we like to obviously stay unbeaten for as long as we can throughout the season. That would be gone. So this game is so important already, but now all these aspects that we're talking about just amplify it by maybe about 10 times. I mean, as much as we need to win, you probably need to win more.
Absolutely.
So whoever gets that first goal, whoever gets that momentum, whoever gets the fans on their side or against them, it's going to prove massively costly in this game, because, you know, we're hearing that there's going to be protests before the game as well. I wonder if that will affect what happens on the pitch. But so important for both teams. And again, I can't really call it just because we both need it so much. But again, I wouldn't be coming on here if I didn't think my team could win. So I will go with a narrow Liverpool win.
Also, as well, before we get to the quick-fire round, some quick-fire questions we're going to pose to you, absolutely. But just in terms of recent history at Old Trafford as well, United's record isn't good, actually. I did some research.
In general or against Liverpool?
Against Liverpool at Old Trafford. Last 5 meetings, United last won against yourselves at Old Trafford in 2018. I think
Martial.
it was, yeah, when it was,
Trent,
with Trent, exactly, yeah. Since then, it's been 2 draws and 2 consecutive defeats for Manchester United. So in terms of recent history, it's not going for us. In terms of our last 2 games, it's not going for us.
I think we scored 9 in our last 2 at Old Trafford.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you spoke about misses there in terms of people missing. Of course, Nunez, you spoke about Jota as well. Salah's obviously the danger man. Do you see him having the success he had last time?
Salah seems to recently really step it up against United. I think obviously he scored a hat-trick against you last season, but even in the game before, I think he got 2. So he's got 5 in 2 at Old Trafford. So, and he knows, trust me, he knows the more goals you score at Old Trafford, the more legendary you become, the more memories we've got, etc. I mean, it was a while since we actually won a game there. So it's almost as if the record just flipped on its head, really, because we didn't win there for a while. I maybe since 2014, that 3-0. I don't think we
possibly David Moyes,
that era. So listen, Salah, as long as Salah starts the game, he's always the key man. Everyone needs to look out for him. But Luis Diaz first game at Old Trafford, that could be a tasty one. Bobby Firmino is probably going to start up front because, as you mentioned, Jota out, Nunez out. And Bobby likes a goal at Old Trafford as well. He scored in that 4-2 victory and had a big part to play last season. So yeah, there's key men, not just the key man, but at the same time, form-wise, we haven't been there. We haven't been at it this season. But if there's one game, as I keep mentioning, if there's one game to get you up for this and get us our first win of the season, it is United. Especially at this time. So much going on. Anyway, let's get into these quick-fire questions. Okay. Let's go to the quick-fire round and pose the questions that are going to really probe you a little bit. Let's go to the quick-fire round. Are Liverpool going to win the league this season? Horrible question. No. And do you know what? About 3 weeks ago, I thought they were, because naturally, if we lose the league by 1 point last season, you'd have to have us in the race. And I'm not here saying that we definitely are out of the race now, but when I think about per game week, City are going to win it. Unfortunately, it's horrible to admit that.
What one Manchester United player would you take at Liverpool?
Do I have to take them?
Yes.
Going to be tough. It's a good question. I think I go for Bruno, just because I know Liverpool were heavily linked with him when he signed for you. Yes, he's been out of form, but he's genuinely the best of a bad bunch. I mean, Ronaldo's the obvious one. I wouldn't have him at Liverpool. And the rest, nowhere near Liverpool. So I'll go with Bruno.
Despite his red card, why will Darwin Nunez be a success?
Great question. Well, he's already been fairly successful in his first 2 professional games for Liverpool, winning a trophy, scoring against City, Premier League goal and an assist as well. So if he just carries on doing that once he gets back from his suspension, then I think it will be deemed as a success. I think for it to be deemed a success, he's got to be getting 20 plus goals in all comps. I'd like to see 20 Premier League goals. But having seen us, especially his performance in the first half against Palace, It was poor. So there's a lot to learn, a lot to get better at, and I'm sure he'll get the service as well. But yeah, I'm still definitely saying that he will be a success at Liverpool without question. Yeah, Klopp never misses.
Liverpool had to wait 30 years to win a league title. How long will Manchester United have to wait?
So it was 26 years for United before Fergie won it. So 30, 10 years already? 9 years already? Oh God! I mean, this isn't going to sound good, mate. But I reckon another 15. So that'll be 25 in total. More out of hope, to be honest. Obviously, we don't want you pulling away too far. But it's definitely not in the next 5 years. Definitely not. And I can't see it being in the next 7. So I'll go for 10 to 15. Yeah.
Interesting responses there. Didn't expect a couple of those ones, so quite interesting stuff. Right, prediction time. This is the one where everyone laughs at us when we get it massively wrong. All of my predictions this season have pretty much been wrong on any kind of preview that I've done. So if anything, they go the opposite way. So what are you feeling? What's your prediction?
Great question, Owen. By the way, a second name that is shared by Liverpool and United legend.
Yes, exactly.
Not anymore, though. He's definitely not a legend for us.
Won a Premier League. Where did he win the Premier League?
At United, unfortunately.
Yes.
No, we hate him now, mate. Don't worry about that. Prediction, right. I'm going to put my hat on a Liverpool win. I do think that United might nick one, only because the magnitude of the game, plus the crowd just won't forgive you if you don't score. Like, you will not be let out. Them players will just not be allowed to not score a goal against Liverpool at Old Trafford, considering what we've spoken about the last 2 fixtures. So from a Liverpool point of view, I'm going to go with a 3-1 win. Again, that sounds quite a resounding win, but I just don't believe it's going to be as easy as last year. Really? It can't be. I don't think whatever we want to say about United, the fans are so passionate there. When they get on your side, they suck the ball into the net sometimes, as we've seen across the last 2 decades under Fergie, etc. But if they're not on your side, that quickly turns, and Liverpool sense that and really take advantage of it. So I'm going to go over 3-1 win. But again, if it's a 2-0, if it's a 1-0, I'm taking it, mate, because we need the 3 points.
You need the 3 points.
Well,
I mean, we absolutely need those 3 points. Prediction from myself, I am one of those people, it pains me. It pains me to predict against your own team. But I'm not going to be one of those people that's deluded enough to go, oh yeah, we're going to win 2-0, because that's just not being realistic. I see it being a really long night for Manchester United. Truly, I do. I think that part of me even worries it could be worse than last year. Honestly,
I think I saw Flex the other day on DR saying the best is 3-0 to Liverpool and the worst is 7-0.
In reality,
honestly, is Manchester United we're talking about.
I know. It's true. It really, but he's right. It will depend on is how early we concede, and I say will because we will. Right. We will concede. If we concede early like we did against Brentford, all bets are off at that point, because this team is so fragile. If they concede, they'll just collapse. They'll collapse, and it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, getting up to that 7 that Flex was talking about. It could. If we manage to hold out, say, the first half, and even if we get in the first half and it's like 1-0 Liverpool,
you've still got a chance.
Then we're still in that one, and Ten Hag can maybe do something there. That's just been the problem so far. In these first 2 games, we were 1-0 down within 30 minutes. Yeah. And Brentford, we were 4-0 down within 35 minutes. So that is really what it would depend on. If we can start well, if we can stay in the game, then maybe we might actually see what Erik Ten Hag wants Manchester United to do. The issue is we are so fragile. I think Liverpool will press us high up because that's what they do anyway, but especially now with those mistakes we've been making. I wouldn't be shocked to see Ten Hag start to go a bit longer just to avoid it all. He did it in the Brentford game where he just said, you know what, forget it. Don't try and play out from the back. So maybe they might do that, but I mean, I've rambled on to avoid having to say it.
Just get into it,
but I'll have to say it. I do think Liverpool leave with the win. I think best case scenario is that we get a draw. Even if we get a draw and we showed some fight, even if we lose and we showed some fight, I think United fans would take it. I think the expectation is that we'll probably lose, and the time to pick up points will be afterwards against Southampton, Leicester. We've got Casemiro, possibly some more signings then. But if I had to pick, honestly, I'm going to go with what Flex said. I think 3-0 Liverpool. I really do. Which hurts me to say.
It shocks me. It really shocks me. I mean, it doesn't, but it does at the same time, because as I said, this is Manchester United that we're talking about. Listen, if it's that, then great.
Yeah, but you're not complaining.
No, of course not. But I just don't see. I don't see a resounding victory. Listen, I hope I'm wrong, but I just can't see another 3-4, 5-0. I think it's going to be tighter.
Well, fingers crossed, folks. Fingers crossed it won't be too messy. Hopefully it will be tighter. Hopefully United actually get a win. Who knows? Imagine. Yeah. That'd be a turn up for the books. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Let us know your predictions in the comment section below, and we'll speak with you again very soon. Peace.